There it says, you're live. Hello, Mr. Ed here at the home of Studio B Productions here at the Abbey of St. Joseph in Covington, Louisiana. And welcome and hello to everybody this morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And hopefully hopefully, I hope it's coming through. Um, in the last couple of months, I've been having a lot of trouble with the broadcast. So hopefully it is going through. Well, I see Ricky. It's coming through. So Ricky, is it going stream? Oh yeah, I guess so. Since the messengers are coming in. Look at all the members: Ricky Yeldo, Karen Voller, Joey Bag of Donuts. In fact, Joey just came and saw me. Deborah, he's a man. Look at that, all y'all. Jonathan Flint, Troy Basqueta, Daniel Fowler, David J. Little. Good morning to everybody from North Carolina. So David, I just went over to South Carolina, spoke, 2 weeks ago, went to there. Shadow Kendry, good morning. Captain Brian, good morning. No work today, brother? Didn't have to go fly your plane across the United States or elsewhere in the world? Set up working, man. That's pretty good. Hey, it's pretty hot up there, I'm sure, out there, Ricky. Hey, good morning, Larry. And thank you, brother, for that plug yesterday. That's so nice of you, Larry. Thank you much. Jack and Danette, good morning. Look at that, Jared Doucette. Hey, good morning yourself, young man. Paul Swift from Oregon. So, Jared, how much honey did you all pull off of your bees this year? Jim Brickley from Jim Green City, Missouri. God bless, buddy. Thank you very much, Jim. Mike Hill from Michigan. I read out yesterday. David Spires, good morning. Hey, No Life Beekeeper, James Noel. 59 degrees. Where are you? Golly, I wish that was here. Randy Williams, just done checking my bees. I went outside just 10 minutes ago and looked at it myself. Collector Jack's honeybees, Collector Rick's honeybees, stacked silver golden honey. Tony Hutchins from Kentucky. Wow, 50 pounds. Good for you, brother. Master of Pennies, a blessed morning to you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Scott Kaler from Pearl River. That's just down the road. Deborah, I used our last Abbey honey. We'll need to order more. Just let me know. I'll be more than happy to send it. Look at that, Brian. Good morning. Fire Tower honeybees. Man. Well, Scott, that's all right. You can always make it another year, huh? We actually harvested. We did 3 runs is all we did. We didn't even have 4. So, not bad, Jared. Wow, and still more to go. Well, that's like us. I didn't pull all of our honey supers. If there was a lot of uncapped stuff or stuff that just wasn't ready, I just left it out there, and I always sting that thumb, you please. I always leave stuff out there because I always hope that our goldenrod will do something and we'll collect some of that. So I leave plenty of supers out there. Love that video with the Mark Queen. That was the very first time I have ever found a Mark Queen, and I've been doing this for a long time, and it's just absolutely amazing to me. I said, "What? A blue queen?" Now, obviously, that was not because blue is this year, and that obviously was not a queen from this year because there was too much brood. It's just no way. So it was just somebody had marked the queen. It just wasn't marked right. Do you buy any bees, No, I do not buy bees. However, I do sell bees, usually in December, uh, just to get my numbers down for the springtime so that I won't have Tar Heel bees. Good morning. Just so that I don't have all those bees to split just in a few more weeks after that. So I don't buy bees. And between the splits, my cutouts and swarms, I have way too many bees. I like the number 150 is what I like, and that's the number I try to keep it at. Look at that, Randy. Everybody knows. Everybody knows you're there, huh? What I want to talk about now, Dead Rooster don't mark his queens either. Look at that from Holland, nutcase. Yeah, you got to be a crazy person to want to be a bee wrangler. Oh, look, Carrie Miriam. I know she's in Africa. It's 5 p.m. in Uganda. Wow, good morning or good evening. Yeah, p.m. Couple hours away. So what I was Jim Bricky, I've got my honey label in the works and we'll send you when you finish. Oh, so since you mentioned that, I am going to be showing the honey labels that I got over the last 4 weeks, show you what I got. And please, if you have not sent me a label from your honey jar, man, I'd love to get it. And you can get my address. All that is, if you go on to my channel, my address, my email address, where to send me stuff. That's all there. And just send it to Mr. Ed. The post office knows who I am as Mr. Ed, so I will get it. Philip Cirilli, great seeing you at the Summer Bee Conference in South Carolina. Man, that was such a wonderful conference, and I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. So the bees you have are a mix of different breeds. Yes, they are all what I affectionately call Heinz 57 or mutt bees. They're just a mix of everything. But I've never, except for when I first started here at the Abbey in about 2011, I bought some bees, and that's the last time I ever bought bees. Dex Foss. Dearth started here in Oregon. Oh, ours have been on strong for a while. Should I start feeding my bees or wait a few weeks? First year beekeeping. Uh, you know, I don't feed our bees, even in the dearth. I make it or hope that the bees make enough and put away enough to so that I don't have to feed them. But it's up to you. If you want to feed your bees, please feed your bees. It's just not worth it to me. Slovenia, good morning, Tom. Tom, I always remember all that chocolate you sent us. Thank you. Cajun bread. Huh? Mine are bringing in a lot of pollen. Boy, I noticed the same thing this morning. I looked just on probably about 10 hives right there on the back porch at the honey house. And boy, they were all bringing in pollen. So look at that. Via honeybees. Who is it? Tom or Melissa who's out there? Either way. Hey guys. Bobby Greenleaf. So when I was in South Carolina, my man, Bobby Greenleaf, he was my personal bodyguard, making sure that nobody threatened me while I was up there. So Bobby, thumbs up for that. You did a great job. It was a great seeing you up there as well. Robert Hilliard. Good morning from Denton, Texas. Hey Tom, that was some really good tasting honey. I'm honey chocolate. I always like the bitter chocolate as opposed to the sweet chocolate, especially the dark. So and your chocolate was excellent. Yeah, I do have a sweet tooth for chocolate, honey too. So let's see what Sean says. I bet your honey would make a really good mead. Probably so. And especially that dark stuff. So Joey Bag of Donuts, one of the members of the channel, another member of the channel, he was passing through. He was on his way. I think he was headed someplace out in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And he called me. He got in touch with me a few days prior to his trip out west, and said, "Look, I'll be passing by. Can we meet? So he parked his rig about a quarter of a mile from the Abbey, and he and I hooked up, went to lunch, came back, and gave him a tour of the honey house. Well, you even got some honey, I think, Sean, because we'd been processing the honey, so he got some of the honey that we were processing. And it was a great visit. So anybody that wants to visit me here at the Abbey, just make sure that you reach out prior to your time that you're going to come, and more than likely I can adjust my schedule to accommodate your presence, because I love having visitors here. So let me get start on what we were really doing last month. I think July must be my busiest month as a beekeeper, um, mainly because it's time to harvest our honey. And as you saw in the videos that I posted this month, at least the one of going getting the honey supers and then actually processing the honey that was in those supers. Um, I did it a little different this year. I started last year, and I found it worked really well. So instead of going and getting all of our honey supers at one time, that we would only do it in small lots, 30 supers at a time. And that way, if we did only 30 supers, then it was so much easier to manage, and it didn't feel like a job. Look, Becky, look, I just want to show you right here, Becky. Look at that right there. So it's coming. It's coming. Just hold on, Becky. Uh, um, so we did 30 boxes at a time, and I'm telling you, it just works so much easier. Look at that, retirement. Good morning. Um, it's almost like we're not even working. We would leave the Abbey at 5 o'clock in the morning, because it's just the the heat and humidity is just so bad. So hopefully we'd always try to get back here by 9 o'clock. And if we're only getting 30 boxes, we can grab that from 1 or 2 yards and we can get it back. Well, as it turned out, the 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 amount of honey that was in those boxes really wasn't a lot. So we would have to go to visit, 3 or 4 yards just to get our 30 boxes. We wound up, still going to all of our yards. We have 10 of them, and we would get our load of 30 boxes. We bring them back, and this year we finally got the boom, the grabber, um, for our honey supers. When we bring them back, we got that whole operation fixed now in front of the honey house. And I know I posted that build as a members only video showing all the work that the maintenance department. Hey, good morning, Circle T Farm. I posted that, and it was really a great job. There was probably about six of the maintenance guys. They formed up a slab in front of the porch. It went out 6 foot and is 30 foot long, and then they dug for a sonotube, a concrete pillar. They sunk that 6 feet into the ground, put bar in there, steel in there, and reinforcing cap, and then poured all of that. And then 2 days after that, they came and we mounted the boom onto that column, that beam. And 2 years ago, I bought a trailer that had this boom arm on it. And we used it because I posted a video on that 2 years ago of us grabbing our supers once we brought them to the trailer with that and loading them onto the trailer. Well, none of our yards are set up so that we can just pull a trailer with that arm on it and grab the boxes and put them onto the trailer. So it didn't make a lot of sense to carry the boom with us to the out yards when we had those other lifts that we can bring them right to the trailer and put them on the trailer right then and there. So I had decided that we're going to mount that boom right in front of the honey house. And you saw it in that video that I posted on the getting our honey supers. Now, what you didn't see very much was that process, because we had done it the first time uh, we had gone out, and it was just Charlie, me, and a brand new guy, Eddie Bashona. We had gone and gotten the 30 boxes, brought them back, and it was so easy, nice. The bees, I guess we really hadn't started the dearth yet. They were so nice. There was no problem, no rushing. But then the second time, which is when the video was shot, the second time we did it, oh man! I mean, as soon as we pulled up, the robbers were right there, and I couldn't even. I had to help Charlie and Julio, and I think it was Phil, fabulous Phil, was with us on that one, and we just had to get those supers off the trailer as fast as we could, because the bees were just so many of them out there. Good morning, Dennis. Thank you for joining us this morning. So unfortunately, I couldn't show that boom in action, but that thing is so nice because we can actually grab 3 honey supers at a time off the trailer. We can unload those 30 frames, not even 10 minutes. We can get them off the trailer. And before, it could take us an hour and 15 minutes. And it's just, look at that, easy reader. Good morning. In years past, when we had to do that with our single lift, it would take us an hour plus to do it. So the boom arm really, along with the other lifts that we use to take the honey supers from the yard onto the trailer, and then it's just such a big back saver and time saver. And I know for most beekeepers, all that stuff is an extravagance. And and I understand that when and your eyes are probably rolling the back of your head. There he goes again. But in truth, I do it just because we have so many hives to work. I just don't want to go home tired and popping ibuprofen, all the time because my back is hurting. So it's just the reason I do it. Archie 3183, love your voice. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Well, I I appreciate that. I don't know if I have a lot to offer. I always feel kind of inadequate talking about bees, because really what I know is cutouts, but I know some bee behavior, and so that helps me with the cutouts. But I'm happy to share, all the things that I do. I love sharing my experience, because every beekeeper's experience that they have are unique to themselves, and so it's just my experience of being a beekeeper. So the that's exactly right. Dennis says his dad said, "Work smarter, not harder." So July, we went and we got all of our honey supers, or at least 90 of them. I think it really totaled out 84, I think was the number. And there's still another 90 of them out there that just weren't ready. So hopefully, by December, all those will come in, because by December, all of our hives get down to 2 boxes. So that's all in preparation for our splits. So by December, it'll all be down to that. So we had, when we were collecting the supers, it was always Good Time Charlie and me, but Julio came twice. Fabulous Phil, he came. I think Fabulous Phil came twice. Eddie Bashona came once, and I know we had somebody else. I can't remember who else it was, but those are all the people that got the supers, and brought them back to the honey house. Now, well, I hope the surgery goes well, brother. I really do. Um, so then we brought the supers back, and then we would process it. So it's 3 times we processed. And the video that I posted on us processing, we must have had, oh my, at least 8 or 9 people in there. A lot of them were from the bee club in Abita that I'm in. We had a bunch of guys from there. Oh, Larry came with us to get supers too, because Larry was also in there processing honey with us. So a lot of guys from the bee club, and then just people that wanted to go there. We had some visitors at the Abbey that just showed up. So it's always a lot of fun doing the processing. And man, if everybody who processes their own honey, they all know that smell of the honey as it's going through the machines. Well, you got to think about magnifying that smell like about 30 times, because it's nothing but the smell of honey in the air in that honey house. And yet you walk out that door and the bees are just flying all around the doors. And some of them will still get in through the cracks by the garage doors, but it's not too many. So uh, um, everybody likes help processing the honey. It's not too many offers. Let's go get the honey super. It's not too many offers for that. Master of Pennies, done any cutouts with multiple queens? I have never had more than one queen. Now, that's it's generally because I don't look um, after I find the first queen. And so there could be, but I've never, in all the years doing this, have found multiple queens in a cutout. Now, I found them in my hives, particularly in early spring when you have swarm cells emerging, and you might have 3 queens or 4 queens in the hive because they haven't swarmed out yet. But as far as cutouts, I have never found multiple queens in a cutout. Good morning, Philip from KC. So, Philip, I'm supposing that we'll be seeing each other once again in January, right? When we go to Navi. Look at that. So Tom, let's see, from East Haddam, Connecticut. So you going up there to escape the heat from Arizona? Good to hear from you, Tom. Thank you for joining us this morning. So we got our honey supers from the field. We brought them back. We processed them. So one of the things that I do quite differently than most people is I do not filter the honey, try to remove the cappings as I go on during the processing. Morris Hensley, Mr. Ed Morris from Safety Harbor, Florida. Wow. Hey, I'll be speaking in Florida in November. It's in West Palm Beach. I'll be there. So the cutouts, and you're talking about cutouts, Charlie and I did one last week that probably had, at least 6. Well, no, I know it had 6, probably had 7 or more gallons of honey in it when we moved it. I'm going to be posting that video. It's going to still be a couple of weeks because I got other things that I need to post prior to that. But what a magnificent colony of bees. And you talk about gentle bees. I put my suit on. I didn't put my suit on to cut it out. I opened it up. I put my suit on to start cutting the comb. They didn't do anything. I took my suit off and didn't wear the suit the rest of the day. And these bees they are absolute most gentle bees that I've come across in years. So hopefully with them being on the back porch, we'll get some of their genetics mixed up with our bees. So I'm looking forward to having those bees in there. Des Foss, good morning. I'm so excited to get my first honey harvest. I'm partial I think it's the best tasting honey. Yeah, I think that everybody's honey is the best tasting honey there is. I definitely think that. F and T honey, Tracy, doing my checks now and a little late. I saw that Captain Brian was doing his mic checks as well. Look at that, Dr. Bruce from San Antonio, Texas. Good morning, Dr. Bruce, and thank you for joining us. Dennis Barnett, I see you found a Mark Queen. Lucky you. First one ever, so you can never say you'll never find one, but I still yet to find one in a swarm. So that'll be the next big thrill. So getting back to me not filtering our honey as we process the honey. The reason I don't is it slows the process of us running our frames through the machines down tremendously, because you're waiting for the honey to drain. And if you're waiting, then that honey is just backing up behind it. And it just doesn't work, at least for me, to wait on the honey. So I find it's so much easier just to let all the cappings go in the honey and just let them go into the drums. Now, granted, I'm not using 5-gallon buckets or 4 or 5, 6-gallon pails. I'm not using those. I'm dumping it all into either 55 or 35-gallon drums. So it's easier for me to do it because I have more room in that storage container than most people. So I just dump it in. And I find it so much easier just to come back, because I can do this on my own. I can come back after all of the honey has been run and settled down. I can come back and at my own pace clean everything up. Randy, thanks for joining us this morning. Go have fun bottling up that honey, huh? So it's just easier for me to do that, and plus, I really enjoy the job. I like skimming off that honey. I like the whole process. I can do it by myself, and as such, why would I slow down the process of getting the honey out of the comb just so because I can come back later and do it? It doesn't make sense to me, so I don't do that. In fact, the video I will post next week, next Friday, will be that very video showing how I now get that wax off of the drums of honey, and then how I separate the honey that's in it. Hey, good morning, Joey. Love your video post this morning, Joey. And I'm gonna have to get one of them little compressors, because every time I go out to those yards and start using that lift, and I say, "Oh, doggone it, I forgot to put air in the tire," and I meant to put air in that lift, and I forgot. So I'm gonna have to get me one of those things. The compressor is right there. I just don't do it because I'm always thinking of something. I'm always thinking of something else. So do you get any dandelion nectar in your honey? I don't know. We don't have a lot of dandelions over here. We have some. So how much, if they work it, I really don't know. But we don't have a lot of dandelions. Circle T Farm, love my bees, but I have to tell you, I wouldn't mind being at Stetson's right now. So what's at Stetson's? I don't know what's at Stetson's. So no filtering of our honey at all. The honey, as it's processed, sits in those drums usually about 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, everything that is in that honey will just rise up to the top. And when I skim all that off, all we have is the honey in the drums. And for me, I don't worry about the honey crystallizing because I can wrap that drum with that heater blanket, get it back to liquid form so that I can then pump it into my bottler, and then the bottler will finish off any crystals that are in the honey. Generally, every 3 weeks, I have to bring it's 14 cases. Every 3 weeks, it's 14 cases that I have to bring to the gift shop. And man, we sell a lot of honey here. Now, it is the only place that we sell our Abbey honey is at the gift shop. But for those that watch my video, if any of y'all want to buy some of our honey, I have in on my channel page how you can do that. It's the shipping is always different. I think it's right now. I think it's $10 for just one bottle, but then you can get up to 6 bottles. I think for $19 in shipping, and they're $12 a bottle is what the charge is. So if you want to get some of our honey, you'll have to contact me either via the channel and comments, or go to my channel itself where you can get my email address and send me a comment on that. Look at that, Joey. You're mighty popular. Uncle 60 asks, do you work directly for the Abbey, or is this your honey company? No, I do not work for the Abbey. I volunteer for the Abbey. This is just a volunteer thing that I volunteer, as well as everybody that you see in those videos with me. We all volunteer. We do this for the monks. So it is the monks' property. Everything that you see us using, doing, bees, equipment, that's Abbey property, and we're just lucky enough to be able to play with all those toys and work their bees. So it's a good deal for us because we're retired. What else you can do with your time? So we volunteer for the monks. Now they do appreciate it because they feed us pretty good regularly. And Charlie is all about getting his food, as you all well know. Unfortunately, Tom, I don't send it out of country. I don't know how all that stuff works. So you have to be in, I would say, the continental United States, maybe Canada. I don't know. I've never shipped it to Canada yet. But I know it's easy just to ship it right here in the United States. So unfortunately, I do not send it to overseas. Consequator, good morning from the Netherlands. Another ones. Love the videos. Always a relaxing watch. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for joining us this morning. Becky Legion, what an awesome community of people. we have a lot of fun, because I think that's the operative word when we're doing all this work. We have a lot of fun doing the work of bees, but then again, it's just we all feel blessed also to be able to participate in this venue. It really is a lot of fun. DC Bees, good morning. Kodiak Farm Bees, good morning, Lee. Man, that's awesome. Having all you people join us this morning. Archie 183. 3183. Morris Hensley, do you charge for the removals? Yes, I do charge for the removals, but you got to remember, I charge for the removals, but it actually supports the program here at the Abbey. I don't make any money off of that. Charlie don't make any money off that. We do get lunch. But in fact, speaking of getting lunch, I gotta thank Uncle Jay for he sent us $25 to get us some lunch next week. So trust me, Uncle Jay, thank you very much for that. And I think Charlie says he wants Chinese food, so we're going to be eating Chinese food. Thanks, Uncle Jay. Yeah, so we do charge. It's very minimal compared to what other people charge. But then again, we also do not repair what we do. but we do what I think is a very good job. Jimmy's Neighborhood Bees. I pick up honey and lotion bars whenever I am visiting family in Louisiana. Oh, hey Jimmy. So next time you come to the Abbey, make sure you reach out prior, and then I can give you a tour of the place. Does Abbey sell 1 or 5 gallon honey or just jars? We only sell 1 pound bottles of jar. That's all we sell. Robert Lucer. Hello from Forks, Washington. Love your videos. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. DC, I like that. God meant keeping bees to be fun. And it's work, but golly, what rewarding work. Look at how cool he made them. I agree. Jack and Net, morning. Oh, look, everybody's coming in. Yeah, so just keep watching the videos, Tom. You can catch up. I really do appreciate it, Uncle Jay. Thank you very much. Eric Duda. I live in New Mexico, I guess. Look at that, Miss Funky H. Where have you been, girl? Man, and look, another Atari for you too, huh? Because I don't recognize that one. I always remember that first one that you had was that big guy, and I said, and I called you brother, and you said, no, I'm not a brother, I'm a sister. So I always remember that. From Montreal, great to have you on this morning. Oh no, I did not forget Stenson's on the White River. No, man, we had so much fun. Uh, we fished the Arkansas Adventure, guys. We had fished so many places on the White River. Stenson's, below Stenson's, above Stenson's, at oh well, no, because Stenson's. I mean, it's like we would stay upriver from Stenson's at Newlands. That's where we were, Newlands, and in fact, that's where we were just a few weeks ago. And then when we were there at the last time, and we went to Stenson's to eat dinner one night, there was a guy from Oklahoma that was there, and maybe that's who I'm talking to, Circle T. And he and his wife were there, and I got to talk with him and sat down and shared a little bit time with him. It was great. It was great. So, yeah, I always remember Stenson's. Well, at least you're still a girl, right? Frog Green Rosie from Europe, Austria. Wow. Love your videos because they help me with my anxiety. Oh, that's awesome. I get that a lot. I hear that a lot from viewers that it's just how we do our videos that people find it relaxing, and that's why they watch our videos, because it's not too stressful. But me and Charlie, we get we get kind of stressed out when we're doing it. If you all would see the unedited versions of the videos, you might think a little bit different of us. But in the end, me and Charlie, we love each other like brothers. We have a great great relationship. Sprody McBoogerballs, it has been a long while since I have seen your name in my comments. Great to have you join us this morning. Castle Eyes, good morning. Well, Miss Funky H, just make sure you reach out, and I hope it does happen. It's always awesome when people come visit here at the Abbey. And I don't know how many of y'all were able to watch the video that Matt from Premier Bees did on his visit to the Abbey. But if you haven't watched it, go to Premier Bees products and look up the video that Matt shot on his visit to the Abbey. I'm sure it'll be very easy to find, but he did a really great job on showing so many aspects of the Abbey because I took him to a lot of places where a lot of people really couldn't go. So go to Premier Bee Products and look under their videos for Matt visiting Mr. Ed at the Abbey. And good and world famous Mike Barry is with us on that one as well. Deborah One Crafty Gal from Southern California. Giving back is good for the heart and soul, for sure. And the older I get, the more a reality that's going to become. So I'm already looking at that because what's past is past, and I'm looking up to the forward. Castle Highs, about to go check my bees. Have a blessed day. Good luck on it out there, Brian. Frog Green Rosie says, interesting and entertaining. How about a behind the scenes? So I don't really think there's any behind the scenes because I like posting videos on everything I do, which is, it's just what I do. I do have members on the channel that I do post videos that only members. Yeah, so you have to be a member to watch those videos. But I only post those about once a month, and it's not really any real behind the scenes. It's just something else that I'm doing that I said, well, let me shoot a members only video today, and it's a job that I'm doing, and they get to watch it. But it's not anything I haven't shown previously on other videos. There's not a lot of new things that I do. So I kind of guess like if you've seen a year of my beekeeping and what I do, you've probably seen all my videos already. Well, I'm glad to and hopefully you're out of those rough patches right now, and I'm glad that you're back watching. Hope it helps. Let's see. Uncle Jay says my 5-frame nuke was doing great. Then I lose a queen. Now they're weak. Yeah, I guess they are. Robbers got in. It's just a bad thing when something happens to the queen in the hive. It's like it's a downturn until you get another queen in there. And for me, it's very rare for me to get another queen in there because I rarely check our hives. Before I know it, the next thing I know, I got a dead out, and it's mostly because queen failure. That's what I always attribute it to, queen failure. Now it could be mites, could be beetles, but I'm always quick to say it's due to queen. She's failing in some kind of way, and then something happens to her. They weren't able to supersede her, and boom, now it's queenless, and now the hive is in dire strait. He said, I added a queen 5 days ago with some brood eggs and frames. Should I shake a frame or two of bees in it? No, my personal way of doing it is I don't throw good money after bad. So you give them a shot, but I only give bees a certain bit of shot. I'm not going to keep investing time and money and resources into a hive that's already going down. I just soon let it finish off and we'll start fresh and new. But that's just me. If you want to do that, I say do it. It's just my way of doing it. No, I wouldn't do that. All right, Miss Funky Ace, thank you for joining us. Recommendations on extractor for backyard beekeepers. There's a lot of extractors. There's a lot of cheap extractors out there, and this is, I don't mean to just be plugging him, but I would go look at Hilco for their extractors. It's a for the money you pay for the extractor, it is well worth it. But not only that, but the warranty that Hilco provides with everything they sell, it just can't be beat. You can't go wrong with it. And when I was in South Carolina, they just came out with a brand new, I think it was a a 32 or a 28 frame, I can't remember, extractor. And this thing is heavy duty. It might be like 16 or 18 gauge stainless. They've now mounted the motor underneath the extractor. I know this isn't what you're looking for, but my goodness, Hilco is always making these great advances and making it beekeeping affordable. So check out his things. Did a cutout, found a queen, but no brood, no drones. Did a cutout, found a queen, but no brood, no drones. Well, I know even for us right now, our queens are, because we're in the dearth, nothing's coming in. Production is, brood production is dropping off. It's going to pick up again in probably about another 4 or 5 weeks when this winter flow starts coming in. But for right now, I wouldn't get all worked up about no brood, but they may have superseded her, and she just hasn't. The old queen and this new queen just hasn't started laying yet. So you have to give them time. That's all I would say. DC, Becky, I have not used any of the brand, but Vevor makes some more different. Yeah, I agree, because I mean I did the extractor uh, video. I used a Vevor, a Hilco, and a Maxent. I think it was a Maxent. And so check out that video. But Vevor makes, it's economical, but it is not the same caliber as a Hilco. So and it's all personal preference. It really is. Look at that, Thomas. Thank you very much. So Thomas, out of the generosity, just did a $50 super chat. Thank you so much. So yes, hello Jeff. I saw a video of you and the Dirt Rooster. And do you actually sell drawn comb? I did in the early spring. I think that was 2 years ago. I had a whole bunch, and I was selling it for swarm traps, is what I was selling for, not for other people's hives, but it was just so that people could bait traps with, because most of that comb was at least 5 years old. It was dark, hard. So no, I don't sell drawn comb, because the comb that our bees make, every year when I drop frames in for the honey supers, it's all brand new frames and it's all brand new combs. So they draw that out, and then the following year I use that as my brood comb for my splits. Now this year I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to change that up a little bit. I don't want to talk about it right now, but I'm going to change that up, because I'm actually going to be using that drawn comb next year in my honey supers, and going to, instead of 10 frame, non-frame. So I'm going to try that next year. You got a good video on extractors. Thanks, Sean. Does Hilco make a small extractor? They do. I'm almost certain they have a 3-frame extractor. If anyone is interested in any type of honey processing equipment, or now Hilco is even selling just bee supplies. Go check out their web page. There are a lot of bee suppliers out there that sell bee equipment. And I just I like Hilco stuff, and so I talk about them. That's in fact it's the extractor that John sent me for that video on extractors. He actually gave that extractor away. I signed it, sent it back to him, and then he gave that extractor away. And I believe it was a girl in Louisiana won that extractor. Yeah, I do sell, Thomas. I do sell in December. I sell actually the bees and 20 frames that they're on. In December, I sell that. I do that just to get our number back down to 150, and I sell it in December as opposed to in the springtime, so that you can actually, in the springtime, you can actually split those bees that you get from us. So if you're interested in doing something like that, because I don't know where you live, I don't know what state you're in, we can talk about that. Scott, very little brood here as well. Yeah, it's just the time of year. Now I know, Scott, I don't know where in Louisiana you are, but I mean it's similar. It's just what's going on. But like this morning, I go and look at the hives, and they're just bringing in pollen right now. So there may be more brood development in there right now. I don't know. So here's another one. Philip Duncan says Hilco makes great equipment and have great customer service. That is another thing. Not only their warranty, but their customer service. They will get back in touch with you. And I agree, DC, that is true. The Vivor equipment, it's if you're not using it a lot, it's going to work for you. It will. That extractor that I did with them, it was a 4-frame extractor, and it worked great. It worked great. I don't know. It wouldn't work under production uh, circumstances, but for a hobbyist where you use it once a year and you're only got 4 or 5 hives, it would work fine. So again, it's what you as a beekeeper, what your needs are. Oh, you're very welcome, Thomas. And Thomas, thank you very, very much for that generous gift. Thank you. So DC is now saying he'd get the small extractor from Hilco before Vivor. It'll last you a lifetime. I saw a guy make an anti-wobbling board with 3 wheels and 2 wooden cleats under plywood board for smaller honey extractors, seemed to get rid of the extractor shake. So generally, that shake really comes from a lack of sturdiness in the legs on the extractor. If those legs are supported or thicker in their gauge, and this is one thing that Hilco does, um, it is a little bit heavier material than particularly a Vivor. Um, Vivors are terrible with wobbles because the metal that they use for their legs is so thin that it just flexes under that vibration of the turn. So you get what you pay for. That's really what it is. And even if you bolt that thing down, you're still going to get the wobble because the strength of that steel in those legs just isn't there. 200 gallons of honey this year. That is excellent. Yeah, we really only got about 350 is all we got. Now I still got a lot out there. So that we got 350 right now. So we'll see in November, December when I go get it, just how much we really did get for the year. But 200 gallons, that's outstanding, Tracy. Outstanding. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I'm glad you mentioned that Hilco now has those springs that you attach to the bottom of their legs, where the spring is will actually take out some of that wobble. So I haven't used any of those. I haven't seen anybody who's gotten them, so I couldn't, really tell you how good that works as opposed to not having. But I can only imagine that it does help with that. So Robert Hilliard says we have a 3-frame hand crank Hilco and it works great. Nothing wrong with that. Look at that. Rodney Milton. Now, Rodney, I got to say, I got your message. Like I said, I got your message when I was in South Carolina. I was just disappointed that I didn't get it from you yourself. So glad to have you with us this morning, Don. So Philip Duncan says, always buy a bigger extractor than you think you need. You will grow into it before you know it. I have the Hilco 12 frame for my 18 hives. I started with a cheap 4-frame and quickly outgrew it. And I agree 100% with that. I had a nine frame 918 extractor from Man Lake when I first started doing Abbey honey. And I knew right then and there, we only had at that time maybe 15 or 20 hives. And I knew there is no way that that is going to suit our needs. So even though we only had not even 20 hives probably at that time, I bought a 36 frame extractor. Corey Pinnell, are you going to be speaking at the expo this year or do you know yet? Well, I plan on it. Cayman still hasn't asked me whether I'm speaking or not. So that's yet to be decided. He still hasn't gotten his list of speakers yet. So I'm planning on it. So we shall just see where it goes. I'm really hoping that we'll be able to do something with Professor Fred and the Dirt Rooster again, because golly, that's just so much fun working with the Rooster and Professor Fred. I really enjoy it. Hey, Castle Lodge, I thought you were supposed to be going to working. I have a set of the springs. They came after I pulled honey, though. Oh. So you can't testify where they work. I'd like to find out whether they work or not, too. Dennis Barney, as much as I hate to, I have to go to work on a car. Have a good day. Hey, Dennis, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Bubba Smith. Hey, Mr. Ed. Hey, Bubba, are you the Bubba up in Robert, Louisiana? Because if it is, man, it's been a while since I've seen you. Lee says, buy once, cry once. That's right. That's the truth. DC says, Jeff is going to talk even if not on the list. You know, it is such a great time going to NABI every year. I get there way before everybody else does, and I leave when they're throwing us out. I stay there the whole time because I have so much fun talking to everybody that I get to talk with. Granted, I can't remember everybody's face and names, but let me tell you, when you go to the NABI, it is the absolute best bee conference experience you will ever have. The speakers that Cayman lines up, the exhibitors, the vendors, and just the beekeepers themselves, both commercial, hobbyists, sideliners, everybody. It is the absolute greatest beekeeping show under one tent there is. And I look forward to it now every year going. So hopefully I'll be seeing you guys there this year as well. Oh, it is. It's a great time. Jimmy says Sharon and him already have their tickets. So Uncle Jay says, has anyone gotten a swollen hand and sore joints from bee stings? They always hurt a little, but for me, it just goes away. I get stung in the hands, the arms, face, head, lips, ears. It swells, but I'm not allergic like some people are. After 20 days, you might need to rethink this, Uncle Jay. You may need to go see a doctor about that. 20 days is a long time to still have swelling after bee sting. Yeah, that is always my concern, Philip, is the snow coming, man, because this year it chased everybody out on Saturday. We were planning on leaving on Sunday. We wound up leaving Saturday like at 1:00 in the morning because they were predicting that snow, that system hitting Nashville, going through Nashville right about the time that we were going through it. So we cut out early Saturday morning. I don't know about making my body parts any better or my hands, the arthritis feel any better, but it is what it is. So because I'm gonna run out of time. It's already been an hour. Let me get to one of my favorite parts of doing this once a month broadcast, and that is talking about the labels that people have sent me over the last month. Now, when I was in South Carolina, and I thank the South Carolina Bee Association for inviting me and having me speak. Oh, it was wonderful. We had Bob Binney and David Harvey. Harvey was this were the speakers, myself, and it was just an awesome time. So thank you all for that invitation, and thank everybody that went that I got to talk with. I made a couple of videos with a few of the guys that were there, and my bodyguard Bobby Greenleaf. He did a great job. So these are labels that when I was there, because I asked, since I was there for 3 days, I asked if you were, while I was there, if you would bring me your label. And so here are the labels that folks gave me while I was there. Now, this is the one from Becky, who's watching right now. So these are Becky's label, and it's Becky's Honey Bees. And these are her labels. Look at that. Gorgeous. Raw honey. Very nice, Becky, and thank you very much. Look at this one. This is absolutely stunning. Lisa Russian Apiary, the Lady Bee. Look at this. Oh, that is, let me get in there. Beautiful. I want to get that glare off it. That is a really nice looking label. 32-ounce bottle. Oh my goodness. That's a big one. And let's see. Honey Top Bees from Chapin, South Carolina. 48 ounces. My goodness, they're getting bigger. Look at this, a pretty one. Old Mill Apiary, black gold. Look at that. Beautiful label right there. Very nice. Pure Honey Bee Tracks from Shelter Cove Landing, Somerville, South Carolina. Bee Tracks. Oh, now look at that, an 8-ounce. We dropped a little from 48 to 8. And then Bookman Buzz Honey. Look at that nice looking label. Beautiful. 13 ounces. Oh, thank you all so very much. All you South Carolinians. Thank you very much for that. Oh man, those are some great looking labels. And these are going to look awesome on the wall. Oh, Uncle Jay, thank you so much. Now we got one from the Harris family in Canton, Georgia. Oh, it's a letter. Ooh. Oh, look at that. And I have trouble reading people's handwriting. Look at this. They did a tight letter from. Let me read this. From Jen Harris. Hi, Jeff. I hope this note finds you and yours well. I have enclosed a few of my brand new honey labels for your wall. I'm a second-year beekeeper here in North Georgia and just had labels made for my first real honey harvest. I have 3 hives, 2 that I overwintered, and 1 is a split from the stronger hive, and I was able to harvest 105 pounds of honey this year. I just set up a 4th hive from a swarm I trapped a couple of weeks ago. When I was transforming that swarm to a nuke, I found the queen, put her in a clip, and exclaimed, everybody say it, thank you, Jesus. I say you've influenced me. I think I've influenced more than 1 or 2 of you all out there. I can't help it. You know, that I get, y'all may not believe this, but when I'm doing a removal and I am looking for the queen, I am saying a prayer constantly. Jesus, help me find this queen. I really want to find this queen. I want to get these bees back to the abbey. I'm just saying prayers. And so when I actually do find the queen, It is a true expression of my heart when I say, thank you, Jesus, because it's such a relief. It makes me so happy to hear that other people know what I'm saying and they are compelled to say the same thing as well. So, yeah, thank you, Jesus. I found your YouTube channel a couple of years ago after seeing my friends' hives and deciding I'd like to enter the hobby. I was late to the game for the 2023 season, and my friend wisely advised me to study, research, and start gathering equipment to be ready for the 2024 season. And that is exactly what I did. I also joined my local club, and this year I am serving as director in the club. Awesome. I always, two things I always say: the world needs as many beekeepers as it can get, and find a bee club and join it, because you're only going to be doing yourself and your bees a big favor by learning how to keep bees in the area that you live in, and being in a club that is as specific an area as you can get, by learning from others that are in the same area as you will learn the right way to keep bees in your area. I really enjoy your videos and I've learned so much from them. I also love the playfulness between you, Charlie, Ralph, and others. I look forward to every Friday night to watch your latest video. Thank you for all you do, and my best regards to Miss Mona. God bless, Jen Harris. And here are the labels that Jen has sent me. Oh, man. She sent me 5 of them. So these are her labels. Nectar Sector, Nectar Sector, Canton, Georgia, and Etowah River Beekeepers. So this is her bee club, Etowah. Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Jen. Thank you very much for that. So that's not a sticker. These are just her club club card. Let's see. Got another one here. I was looking at the John Yent. You're going to run out of wall space in the heights. No, no, no. I've probably got well over 200 in there right now, and that's only half the space till I reach the door, and I still can move to the other side of the quilt. Now, please send me your labels. All right, another typed letter. Yes. And this is from Michael and Jen Fricks in New York. And he states, my wife and I recently discovered your YouTube channel and are now hooked. Thank you. We are watching your older videos while we wait for your new ones to drop. You know, please don't go back all the way to the beginning, because they are absolutely terrible. They're just, I remember in my very beginnings, I would keep my back to the camera so often. It's like I had no conception of what you all would be looking at. I'm in my mind looking at what I'm doing, but in reality, you're just watching my backside, and it's just so unflattering. So I tell Charlie all the time, Charlie, don't do any video from the rear. And he knows the drill, so he doesn't do that. We really enjoy the ones where you go out and catch swarms. I like that too. We are always astounded how you find the queen every time. No, I don't find the queen every time. Often, but not every time. We recently saw the one where you were asking for labels from honey jars. I have enclosed your label that we use. We are located on Long Island in New York and have been beekeeping for about 15 years now. Wow, that is a long time. I have a real good friend up in New York City, Tom Wilkes, and he has Wilkes Apiary, and he is he keeps his bees on the tops of buildings up there, and very typical in New York City that these tall, high-rise skyscrapers, each one has their own zip code because there's so many people in these buildings that they have their own zip code for that building. So he goes under the title of where he keeps each of his hives. He goes his beehives. His channel is called, or his honey is called, zip code honey, and he lists the separate zip code for each individual building, and he sells that honey as that's how specific that honey is. Now, the source of nectar may vary, but when he processes the honey from those hives, it is only from those hives, so it doesn't get mixed with other buildings like I do. Our honey is a blend from all of their different yards. So it's you can buy honey from us at one time, come back in 6 weeks, and I'm in another drum, and the honey's going to taste different. It's just the way, it's just the nature of it. I have inserted a picture of our hives below. We are still a work in progress as we have caught 2 swarms this year. Thank you for the entertaining, informative content you provide. Sincerely, Mike and Jen Fricky. And here is a picture. Look how nice and neat. I wish my yards looked that nice and neat. Golly, that is beautiful. Beautiful, Mike. Very nice. And here is a label, Sticky Finger Bee Farm. And I am not going to pronounce that town. What is it? Yaphawk, New York. Raw and unfiltered. Beautiful label. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very, very much. That is awesome. All right, we got a couple more. This is from Randy Underwood in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Now, this is an interesting fact, and I probably didn't pronounce that correctly, Tahlequah, but what is unique, and I hope everybody's listening, what is unique to Tahlequah, Oklahoma is that is where Mr. Ed is buried. That's right. The original Mr. Ed, the talking horse, is buried in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. When I spoke, I went to Tulsa last year, I think it was, and spoke. I was only, I don't know, not that far, but I flew in, so I didn't have a vehicle. So I never got to visit the gravesite of Mr. Ed. So this is from Randy. And he writes, please add these to be displayed on the wall of the St. Joseph Abbey Honey House. What an honor. No, it's an honor for us to be able to display all your labels. They make us look great. He says, I met you at the Northeastern Oklahoma Beekeepers Association Conference in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, March of 2024, when you were a speaker. My hives are 0.2 of a mile north of the Cherokee Nation Tribal Complex. So I did meet Randy. I just don't remember. And here are his labels that he sent me. They're attached. Let me see if I can do this. Big U Honey Farm. And there's his back one. Thank you, Randy. Thank you very much. All right, let's do another one. This is from Leela Rogers in Indiana, from Indiana. No letter, but a nice little note. We hope you still have room for our label. Oh, yes, there's lots of room, lots of room. And here is Leela's honey label. Leela's Bees in Payette, Idaho. I said Indiana. I don't know the state's abbreviation. Idaho. Very nice. Thank you, Leela. Thank you very much. And then we got one more. And this is from Chris Anderson in Oregon. Oh, man, these are nice. And he writes, hey, Jeff, I very much enjoy watching you. I hope you're doing well. Looking forward to seeing my sticker on your wall of the honey house. Chris A. And here are Chris's stickers. Oh, that's a little stuck to it. Let me get that off. He sent me 2 of them. Look at that. Smooth pollinator. I love that. That is awesome. Very, very good. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. And thank everybody for sending me their honey labels. And again, I want yours. So if you would please send them to the address. The address is 75376 River Road, St. Benedict, Louisiana 70457. But that is in that information is in the channel description. You'll find that how to send it to me in that. I know I have not been following along. Let me see. Let me read one from Matthew Garrison. What do you think about bee colony collapse? What is your experience this year? You know, when I was in South Carolina, they actually did talk about that, and Bob Binney says stuff about that. And you know, it really is from what I am understanding about it. It's more of a cyclic thing that it occurs like every 20 years. It's this thing. We have this die off of bees. But what most people, and this is one of the points that they brought up at the conference, one of the points that people really fail to realize, honeybees aren't so much that, yes, there's great losses in honeybees, but we are able to by breeders and other means, we are able to come back from those losses. Even though they might be 90, 100%, we still can come back because of how honeybees are done. So what can't come back as strong as honeybees or the the other pollinators, the other bees. So and I think this was in Bob's presentation, that 53% of all bees are not honeybees. Only 47% are honeybees. And it's that 53% that, and most of these are solitude bees. They may live in like groups, but they don't live in colonies. And so these bees who are affected by these things, this is where the loss is really felt, as in pollinators. Honeybees, they can come back because there's so many people doing them. But the solitude bees, they have a harder time. And so there's a lot of interest now on building habitat for these pollinators. And there's a lot of information out there on this. I'm not up to speed on it, so I don't know a lot about it, other than I know it isn't just honeybees that we should be worried about. It's the other bees that we should be worried about equally as much. You're welcome, Becky. Hey, Morris, I hope you do make it. It's in West Palm Beach. I don't know where in Florida you are, but I hope I get to meet you up there. So I don't know which the only conference that I've really said was South Carolina, which was the 17th of July is when I was there, 17th, 18th, and 19th. And then I'll be going to West Palm Beach sometime in November. I think it's an early part of November. Oh, DC, I'm glad that you've been watching our videos, my videos, for so long. I got 2 more things that I have to do a shout out for one of my members who gifted me last week. He sent me through, what is it, the honeybee research in Florida. He sent me three. He sent me three VSH queens to get some of those genetics in our yard. So set them up in some nukes, 5-frame nukes, and hopefully we'll get them through the winter. And next year we'll get some of their genetics out in our bees. So John Mary, thank you very much for those queens. Greatly appreciate that. And then one more thing that I got this month. From another member. My members are just so great, and I appreciate that so very much. When I was in the honey house, it was 3 days ago. I was shooting another video. In fact, it was a video that's going to get posted this week. And they walked in and they had some goodies for me. Now, it's Robert and his wife Phyllis O'Hare. Robert was in the video that we shot of processing. He was one of the guys catching the frames coming off the uncapper. And he brought me a little plaque. Well, at least his wife did. Brought me a little plaque to hang in the honey house. Actually, I'm gonna put right here. Let's see, right here. I'm gonna put Charlie right underneath here as well. Because poor Charlie, poor Charlie. But then the other thing that they brought, this is just stunning. And I don't know whether I should hang this in the honey house or here, right here in the office of Studio B. This gorgeous picture. Look at this. It's a painted onto this little box. And man, that is just an absolutely stunning picture of a bumblebee. I mean, stunning. And the title of this painting is called Sainted Bumble, because you see the halo going around it. Sainted Bumble. And believe it or not, the artist's name is Von Benedict, spelled differently than our Saint Benedict, but still Benedict. Man, that is so stunning. So Phyllis, thank you so much for that beautiful gift. And man, I just can't get over that. That's just gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't know whether it's going to go here in the office or in the honey house. Still don't know yet. Matthew Garrison, thank you, Jeff. May bless you and keep you, because his face to shine upon you. Thank you. That's a great blessing. Thank you, Matthew. Hope Ramirez, living in the Central Valley of California, where we get 110 degrees in the summer. Is there such a thing as too hot a climate for honeybees? You know, they keep bees in Arizona, and it gets hotter than that in Arizona. I would strongly suggest that if you keep bees, that you keep them in insulated hives. I am a very, 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 very big supporter of Apamea hives. I have one myself, and it's a great hive. There are many different types of insulated hives, but the hive, an insulated hive, makes all the difference when you're dealing with temperatures that high. So I would recommend you looking into insulated hives. Yeah, so we got two votes for in the office and not for the for the honey house. I just think that thing is going to wind up here. Golly, there's just so many places I could put it, even though I'm running out. And I've got stuff all along the wall right here that you can't even see. So at least if I had it here, I would see it a lot. Yeah, agreed. There's you can. I've seen. I think I'm trying to remember. It might have been Don the Fat Bee Man. He would put pallets up on the sunny side of his hives to break that sunlight down. So I actually built two structures just lean-to structures to keep the bees under, just to keep the direct sunlight off of them. So there's a number of ways you can go about trying to make it more environmentally comfortable for your bees, other than actually putting in an air conditioner for them. Oh, we got another vote for the office. So DC says I should put it right about there. Keep it on the desk. That way I can see it more. And what a stunning picture, huh? Golly. My hands are always dirty, so I can't touch it all the time. All right, so let's see. We've already been on an hour and 25 minutes. I think that's about enough. We'll go 5 more minutes, and we'll call it quits after that. I thank all of y'all this morning for joining me, for all the members. Oh my gosh, when I first started out, there must have been 12 members jumped on to the channel. It is not. I don't. What's the word? I don't want anybody to feel left out for not being a member. For those people that are members on my channel, I greatly appreciate that gift that they give me, because it does cost $4.99 a month. So I appreciate that support that you give, but by no means do I want anybody to feel left out because they're not a member. I fully appreciate everybody that watches my channel and leaves comments, or watches the channel and doesn't leave a comment. Doesn't matter. I'm greatly appreciative of everybody that follows along with what I do, with my work here at the Abbey, with the bees here at the Abbey, the cutouts that I do, and just the fun that I have sharing my what I do with bees. So don't feel like a second-rate citizen just because you're not a member to the channel. But I offer that to folks, for those that want to do something else, just a little bit more than just watching the videos, and I truly appreciate that. So look at that, Eric Hartman. You got to see a live, huh? At least for the next 2 minutes of it. So Eric is a guy. When we moved back to Louisiana back in 1969, Eric and I went to grammar school together. We fished Bayou St. John together. He and I spent hours and hours, great friends. And here, what is that? That's how many years now? Like almost 50 years, Eric, that we've been knowing each other. And he's following along with my videos. Great hearing from you, Eric. I don't know anybody to. So Eric and I, we go back. He's one of the first guys I met when I moved back to Louisiana, and a long time buddy. So that's it. Let's just go ahead and wrap it up. So thanks for watching. Keep on watching, and I will be making more. God bless. Mr. Ed, I'm going to be out of here in just a few seconds once I close this thing out. We'll do that one more time. Thanks for watching. Keep on watching, and I'll be making more. God bless. Mr. Ed, I'm out of here until the next video. God bless everybody.